Shalom, Kohalo, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Kaha, Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. The 144,000 and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen that look like the heathen. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another lesson in truth. And I just want to open with this scripture. All right. I'm going to hit them with it again. It's Deuteronomy 29 and 33. 33 and 29, Salakia. And it reads, Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by Yahweh, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency. And thy enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. This person that you're looking at is Amy Chen. And I'm actually a fan of Amy. I like Amy a lot. Her content is on point, especially when it comes to bringing out facts about the hatred and false history which has been promoted and pushed by the Edomite. And when they hear true history, they see it as hate. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read a statement from her. It says, your need for society to be structured to lie to you about your history so you can feel good about yourself is your pathology. All right, you looked at, and so I went to the Simplified Winston. What just happened here? The Winston Simplified Dictionary. All right, the Winston Simplified Dictionary, Encyclopedic Edition, 1935. All right, and matter of fact, let me just look it up. Let me just read it. All right. Pathology. And here we go. Pathology, from the Greek pathos, all right? So that's the origin word, all right? And the definition of pathos is in here too. So, but it says, suffering, a study, the science that treats of disease, the physical condition of an organ or other parts of the body. Now here's pathos, that quality and experience or in verbal, especially literary reproduction or experience which excites sympathy and pity or suffering. So they want you to suffer, all right, the disease of their hatred that they need to make them feel good about themselves when it comes to their history, because their history lies. All right. So it says, your need for society to be structured to lie to you about your history so you can feel good about yourself is your pathology, not mine. So it's the Edomite's disease, not Amy's. All right. And it says, and the days of in which people like you got to institutionalize people like me for refusing to uphold those are gone, are now gone. All right. Or now over. Maybe it's because I'm not the beneficiary of white supremacy, so I didn't get to experience of growing up in an educational system that was designed entirely, all right, around I can't even read my own writing here. Oh, indoctrinating me into ignorance and comfort about the history of my own people, and they have. The Edomites have been indoctrinated into comfort, all right, and ignorance about their own history to make them feel better about themselves. The fact that they refer to themselves as white, that was made up in 1682, in 1681. Before that, it was Caucasian. All right? They do not want to be the Edomites, and they are. Okay? And then it goes on to say that I didn't. It says that I don't relate to the fragility and cognitive dissonance that you must experience. Wow. That you must be experiencing to hear historical facts about Western imperialism and colonization and how the system of white supremacy were established and maintained. It's still being maintained, all right? And interpret that as personal hatred and a personal attack. That's exactly what all these people who cry, who all these Edomites who get on the internet and on TV and cry about critical race theory. All right? That's them. This is talking about all of them. All right? That to hear the facts about their history, because they were indoctrinated to make and indoctrinated with lies about themselves that told them they were these great people and these inventors and not taught, and specifically not really looked at the murder, rape, robbery that goes along with imperialism and colonialism. All right? And now they're being hit in the face with reality. And they don't like it. All right? And in this video right here, which I'm going to play, she talks about history by omission. So let's look that word up. All right? In the same said book. This book. Matter of fact, let's look up maintained. Because he said that how white supremacy was established and maintained. It's still maintained. So, and it's on page 591. It's also from the Latin. And it says to hold in the hand, to support, sustain, to keep from declining, as to maintain a reputation, to support, to bear in or with, to keep up as war, to retain possession of, to hold. So, and they've done everything that they can to hold the line of white superiority, even in the midst, of all the social injustices and different things that they're doing. But the thing is that now that, the alphabet lifestyle and all the other things have entered into the program, the good old boys, well, their white fragility really is showing through. And, and it's like, well, you kind of did this to yourselves. Your own policy has brought you to this point because there's no more wisdom in teaming. All right. You put women in positions of power. Look at your military. Look at your country. As a matter of fact, if you did the factual studies, the American military was very strong until it started putting women in service and putting women in units. All right, it takes so much more money to support and take care of women, and then all the hassle and the issues that they have socially, all right, within the military that they didn't have when women weren't there. All right, I can only imagine the amount of failed missions and other things that probably not even going to bring out those statistics. Maybe some soldier will be brave enough to speak about it and put up some videos so that we can tune in on it. But the fact is that what's really happening is Esau is just quite simply being made bare. As a matter of fact, let's get that, and then we're gonna play 2 short videos with Amy and maybe grab a couple more scriptures and wrap this thing up. This wasn't meant to be a long video at all, but I think this Jeremiah 49, right? Yeah, Jeremiah 49 and 7. It says, concerning Edom, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, Is wisdom no more in teaming? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Because when you look at what they're doing within the borders of America, within the borders of many other countries, and their policies make absolutely zero sense. All right, the whole world is looking at the fact that of how horrible the living situation is for the homeless in America, within the so-called black community, within the so-called even within the so-called white community. There's homelessness, mad homelessness among them as well, with your veterans. All right, but yet now in Florida it's illegal to even be homeless. You get arrested if you get caught sleeping outside. Who else is a homeless person supposed to sleep? All right. But you spend billions of dollars on the Israelis and on the Ukrainians, which you spent enough money where you actually could have fixed America. Well, they ain't too wise, It says, let me jump down to verse 10. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. So this man is so stupid now and so lost that he's leading himself to his own destruction.
Efficiently to be letting those people in. So that would be a coalition among people who have been harmed by, in the words of bell hooks, white supremacist capitalist patriarchy. And that includes a lot of people, including Black, Brown, Indigenous, and other people of color, alphabet people, women, children, people with disabilities, people with neurodiversity, and working class people. And if that coalition ever formed, it would be unstoppable, which I think is exactly why we have divide and conquer tactics, why we have an education system that teaches history through omission, and why we have identity politics and
identity politics and history and a system that teaches history through omission. All right, because you're not taught that the very internet that you're working on. All you can hear about is Steve Jobs and what's his name? The philanthropist. I mean the Bill Gates. All you hear is about these guys, but you don't hear about all the melanated people, specifically Israelites, Negroes, Nigerians, and who were responsible for the launch of this whole internet. If everything that we're using right now, you would never know it, because you're told that blacks contributed nothing to history and nothing to society, but just your stoplight, your refrigeration, air conditioning, heat, the first motor car, all right, the elevators, the escalators, microwave, all right, the gears, the automatic transmission in the car, the elevated train, the line for the power, the third rail. And that's just, it's so many things. Popcorn, that's Jake. Peanut butter, ice cream, tennis shoes, the hair comb, the hot comb. It's just it just goes on and on and on and on and on. All these things that have made it comfortable for Americans, but you'll hear a white supremacist giving all these rants, all right, as they're turning on their air conditioning in their car in their house, or they're turning on their heat in their car in their house. And who do they have to thank for that? A Negro, the broom, the mop, hell, washing machine. It just goes on and on and on. Salakia. All right? But they don't want to give you credit for what you have done. They want to hide it. All right? Matter of fact, let's grab this other quick video with Miss Amy, and then I'm going to close with a couple scriptures. Here we go. TikTok just oh, it's on her. Perfect.
They got one, but it's plenty more.
So Salakia. Yep. Let me turn this up. And it's Amy again. So history by omission. Wow. Yeah.
Your need for society to be structured to lie to you about your history so you can feel good about yourself is your pathology, not mine. And the days in which people like you got to institutionalize people like me for refusing to uphold those lies are over. Now, maybe it's because I'm not the beneficiary of white supremacy, so I didn't get the experience of growing up in an education system that was designed entirely around indoctrinating me into ignorance and comfort about the history of my own people, that I don't relate to the fragility and cognitive dissonance that you must be experiencing to hear historical fact about Western imperialism and colonialism and how systems of white supremacy were established and are maintained.
And they're crying, no CRT. No, it's not theory. It's critical race historical facts. Like and subscribe.
And to interpret that as personal hatred and a personal attack. And maybe it's because for the rest of us in the United States who don't have that privilege, we are constantly immersed in the most unflattering depictions of ourselves and our people, our culture, and our history, that I also don't relate to happening upon the content of a random stranger who may be talking about how Genghis Khan killed so many people that it changed the climate, or Chinese imperialism, or the Chinese civil wars, or the Chinese cultural revolution, and first of all, not already know that history for myself, and second of all, interpret information about that history as a personal attack on me. So if hearing about history makes you feel personal hatred, such that you can't move on in life and find something else to watch, and you constantly feel the urge to center yourself in an attempt to control what is being said, as you routinely do, that would indicate that you have the significant need to seek therapy.
Yeah, and therapy is not going to help them, all right? But, yeah. They want to always control the narrative, which is why they teach history by omission, which will probably be the name, something to that effect, something dealing with the, Edomite fragility and history by omission, because they omit the truth. They omit that the Negro, Latino, and Native Americans are the same people. They omit the fact that that they created the word Europe, that Europe is in is in Asia. All right, and they're in literature, and the number one literature being the Bible. There's no mention of Europe. You do hear about Spain and other places like that, but those places were in Asia. All right, here's the map to prove it. Just because you colored that section of Asia yellow and call it Europe, but the Bible doesn't acknowledge Europe. It acknowledges Asia. You can go to First Maccabees, the 11th chapter, and read about the wars between Alexander, Demetrius, and Ptolemy. All right, and how and he was referring to Spain being in Asia. All right, he never said nothing about Europe. Never said nothing about the Middle East either. The Middle East and Europe are Western Asia. All right, China and Russia are Eastern Asia. There it is. All right. So, history by omissions, lies and hate. And and these people they're being exposed, man. Matter of fact, let me grab one more scripture. Because this was just done this was pure and put up raw. Didn't really prepare for it. I just wrote down those comments earlier. What some of the things that Amy had said, and just went with it. Grab the dictionary and turned on the camera because I was hot to do it. But what I want, Thessalonians, right? By the mouth of the prophets, that's what I want. Because Esau is being made bare. All right. This is 2 Thessalonians. I'm going to read verses, chapter 2. I'll probably read verses 1 through 10. All right. And it reads, "Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahushua Hamashiach, and by the gathering, and by our gathering together unto him." All right. Being Israelites gathering, not everybody. "That ye soon shall not be shaken in mind, nor troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by the letter, as from us, as the day of Yahushua is at hand," or Hamashiach is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, all right? For that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and a man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. That falling away was the Negro, Latino, Native American, all right, forgetting who they were, being separated from their heritage. That's prophecy. And then being scattered among all people, including Amy's people, all right? You know, when it says that let thou be a covert to me, O Moab, in Isaiah the 16th chapter, around the fourth verse, all right? The Lord hid Negroes among Amy's people just to preserve them, to preserve the seed line, all right? And what do you think they look like today? Well, you know what? They're going to look like Amy, all right? Because that's the vibration I get from her. I don't get a Moabite vibration from her. But nevertheless, let's continue. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And who did that? The so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right, he painted him the Sistine Chapel. He put it himself up, used the images of Cesare Borgia and spread that poison around the world. All right, which is now being, as the kids say, being shitted on. All right, because the world is contesting that, because that's not what the biblical relic or the relics actually show. All right, like history by omission. They teach history from the time of the Renaissance. They'll talk about something that happened from 2,000 years before the Renaissance, but yet use Renaissance art to describe it. All right? So just like Amy said, they've been taught history from a point where they indoctrinated everybody else into this feel-good doctrine and made them feel good about themselves. And then when they're faced with the truth, they look at it as a personal attack or hatred toward them. But it says, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he who letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And at that time, the Romans were ruling. And it said that iniquity, that was the Edomites then. All right? All right, it says, then shall the wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. All right? And then the wicked is being revealed by the prophets of the Lord, right here in Babylon and around the world. All right? Even him whose coming is after working of Satan, that adversary, which is against everything that is holy. All right? Against everything that's biblical. All right? Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. All right? With all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. All right? So, look, you continue to follow this man. You believe in this man. You're going to die with this man. And, Esau, Edom is being put on blast from everyone. All right? So with that, I'm going to give all praises, all honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash, Kwam Yasharala Shalom.